Yes, indeed.
So we're gonna be joined in studio, obviously, with Rob Safar and his coach Ibn Cason. Cason, actually. Rob, how are you?
How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good, man. You looking like $1 million, brother. You're looking good.
I feel like $1 million, my brother.
I see you. I see you, man. So you're coming off of win, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
But you got injured.
That is correct too, sir.
What happened exactly?
So,
Give me some details here.
I tore my biceps in the first round after like 10 seconds into the fight.
Wow.
Yeah, so the first right hand that I throw, I tore my biceps.
So mentally, that had to be difficult because now you got an entire fight ahead of you.
Yeah.
And did you still have mobility of that arm?
No, I had mobility, but I didn't have no pop. I didn't have no power, right? Mm-hmm. And it was like after each second that went after the injury, I started feeling like my bicep was like numbing, and it really started to hurt bad, you know. So I tried to use it a couple of times after the first right hand that I threw, when I torn it, and after like the second right hand I thrown after that right hand, that's when I realized, it's kind of fucked up, you know.
Mm. Now, how'd you deal with that pain mentally and get through this fight? Obviously, it only lasted one round, so even with one arm, you got the job done.
Yeah, so actually what happened was like right after I torn the biceps and I started feeling like that it was actually torn, that's when I felt like, I just got to get him out of there. So I just felt like I had to go to the inside, and when I was on the inside, I tried to throw like short shots where I don't need to like, how do you say, like wing my actual like arms, and I don't know, I just got him out of there with a body shot, and yeah, that was.
Did you feel, I don't know, I guess relieved that it didn't have to go all 6 rounds, especially with one hand?
Yeah, I mean, I felt relief. That's why I was so happy after he quit. Like after they announced it as a TKO, like after he quit, that's why I got so happy. Yeah.
It's crazy, man. I don't want to call it luck. Obviously, you put in the work, but that happened with Berto versus Jesus Soto Caras, and he got a loss in that fight, because he had an injury to the bicep, and, unlike you, he wasn't able to get a knockout with one arm, man. So credit to yourself. Now, what are the doctors telling you?
I mean, I had to do a surgery. I did a surgery this Monday, and hopefully I'm going to take off the cast that I got on me next week.
Wow. Oh, wow. Damn.
Yeah.
Are we that far advanced in medicine? It's only a week with a cast?
I'm going to take off the cast in a week, but then I got to start doing the rehab process, and that's probably going to take a while,
What are they telling you? How long?
I don't know, and I don't want to listen to it, I just believe in God, bro, and I believe that anything is possible, so I believe I'm going to be back in a second, bro.
So I want you to take us, I guess, to the beginning, because I was just notified that you're part Sweden, and the only other Swedish boxer that we know is Badu Jack, who obviously, you being from Las Vegas, you must
Ingmar
know.
Johansson.
Yeah, never heard of him.
Heavyweight who beat Floyd Patterson?
Nah.
Oh, yeah, but
I'm not a historian.
he was like the man before Badu Jack, So yeah.
So tell me about, your Swedish upbringing or background.
Oh yeah,
Who's Swedish in
I'm
your...
born and raised in Stockholm, Sweden.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, my dad immigrated from Middle East to Sweden, like a lot of other immigrants did from in different parts of the world. Mm-hmm. And he met my mom, and I grew up in like a...
So where's your mother from?
She's Swedish.
Okay.
Yeah.
So mother and father?
Now, my dad is from Middle East.
Okay.
So he immigrated to Sweden.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, my mom is Swedish. She's a real Viking, my mom. Got blonde hair, blue eyes, She's a big lady. That's probably where I got my size from, you know. And I grew up like in a segregated area, because like back home, it's like all immigrants, they get put outside the city. See what I'm saying? And like all the immigrants live like in a segregated area. And you can come from wherever, like Africa, Asia, Middle East, or whatever, But they try, I don't know why, but I felt like they try to keep all the immigrants away from the city where all the Swedish people live. And what actually happened because of that was like people that's from the neighborhoods, whatever you want to call it, they created their own culture. They created their own like some people don't even speak Swedish over there, you know?
Oh.
So it's like when you're in the city, like you see the real Swedish culture, right? But then when you go like outside the city and you go to the segregated areas, it's like a third world country, right?
Wow.
And that's where I grew up. And the neighborhood taught me a lot. And my dad left when I was like 11. And, I got raised on the streets, I would say, And then I found boxing when I was 19 and, changed a lot in my life, And I came here 4 years ago and yeah.
How'd you make it here to America?
It's easy to get a visa.
Okay.
As when you're from Sweden, it's pretty easy. You can get a regular tourist visa by signing like an application online. You get approved.
And which one did you go for? Tourist or working?
A tourist first. Yeah.
And how long did that take for your approval?
20 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, maybe an hour. Yeah, but that's like 3 months visa. That's a 3 months visa. Yeah.
So how long did it take you to put this plan together to come to America and become a professional fighter?
I think it took me like 3 years, like in my mind, because I remember I planted the seed when I was here the first time. That was like 7 years ago. And I want to be here, I want to be in Vegas. I want to be in Vegas.
7 years ago, this was before you were 19?
It was before I was a pro. Okay. No, I was 19 10 years ago.
Okay.
Or soon 11. I'm going to be 30 in November.
But at 19 is when you decided you wanted to box.
Yes.
So how many years after that did you make it to America for the first time, or was it before that?
I was 25 when I came in.
For the first time?
No, 26. 26. No, the first time I came in, I was like 23, 22.
And what was the nature of that visit? Was that boxing that brought you here?
It was boxing.
Tournament?
It was boxing related. I came here just to develop, as a fighter. Because I knew this was like the mecca of boxing, So I wanted to come in and get like the experience to be here and see how people are, like how the people's mindset is here, how they train. I wanted to learn new stuff. I wanted to get back home after that and keep going with my amateur career. No, I wasn't pro.
Oh,
I was
amateur.
I was amateur. Yeah.
Okay.
So I came as amateur.
Wow.
But that's when I decided, because I always knew I want to be a pro. Because I never really liked the amateur style, Mm-hmm. But so I always wanted to be a pro. So I decided I want to be in Vegas. And 2-3 years after I was here the first time, now I'm here, That was 4 years ago,
So has it been everything? Has it lived up to your expectations so far, Vegas?
No, it hasn't.
Why not?
I mean, lately, yeah. Because I thought everything is just gonna be like that,
Mm-hmm.
But it's a long road, bro. And I realize it's a lot of sacrifice, it's a lot of work.
What was one of the first sacrifices you realized you had to make?
That I had to move here and leave my family back home. I haven't seen my family in 4 years.
And you mean intermediate family, or are you married with children over there?
My family, everything. I'm not married over there, no, my whole family, bro. My friends, my family, like people that I grew up with. Because back home, as I said, it's a segregated area, so we all grew up with each other since kindergarten, So our parents know each other from like back in the days. So it's like, my friends is my family too,
Mm-hmm.
It's like anywhere else where it's like a closed up, like segregated area, People knowing each other from like 2 years old or whatever,
So your mom's back in Sweden?
Yeah, my mom's back there, my sister's back there, all my cousins, my dad, everybody,
But you FaceTime at least?
Yeah, sometimes, yeah, of course, but it's like it's faded more with the time,
Mm-hmm.
Like in the start, we started, I FaceTime all the time, I downloaded games to be able to play with them and, but then, it's the 9 hours different and it's like, they got their life and they got to go to bed by a certain time,
Mm-hmm.
Then, of course, I got other friends that live a different lifestyle, but, we don't really talk that much because we don't have that much. It's not that we don't have much common anymore, but it's more like they don't want to tell me stuff to stress my lifestyle out because they know how important the mindset is, So they don't want to tell me certain stuff because they know it's going to affect my mental, because it's going to stress me out. So I just try to they try to keep a lot of stuff faded,
So when you say that it's a third world country,
it's not a third world country. It's a mainstream country.
But outside the city, you're saying it feels that way.
It feels like it, yeah. It feels like.
So I wanted to get a little more detail because obviously my family migrates from the Dominican Republic, which is a third world country. So when you say that, I'm thinking dirt roads and poverty. So I want to know what you're seeing.
Not the look of it, the act of it. Like, you know, that people be selling fruit outside. They be screaming like half price today, da da da. People don't really talk Swedish over there, and the culture is different. You know, it's just a different it's like a different country. You know, maybe the look is still the same. It's still clean and everything. Like some places are dirty, of course. You know, not as dirty as like a third world country. That's super ghetto to me. You know, but it's still kind of like, yeah, you know, it got its own like flavor to it, you know? That's what I'm trying to say. Like, it's a different country.
And is there a boxing culture there? Like,
barely.
So when you decided at 19 to become a boxer, what happens? Where do you go? What do you have?
Hey, they got boxing facilities. They got boxing like gyms. You know, people are amateur boxers back home. We got a national team. We got all of that, you know? But when I'm saying like it's not a boxing country, it's like people don't like boxing back home, you know? That's like I don't know how to say it, but like a poor man's sport. Not only that, also that it's like a lot of the regular Swede don't like it because it's so like dangerous, you know? So it never started to pop over there with boxing, you know?
So how'd you like it?
I mean, I have a family friend. He was a boxer before. And when we grew up, I decided to live like a different lifestyle than him. But we were still like, he was still like my brother, right? I call him my brother. So, and he always told me like, yo, you should box. I came with him a couple of times to his sessions, you know. But right after the session, I smoked a cigarette or, you know. I'm talking about when I was like 12, 13, 14. So, but I always had it in my family, boxing, in my family, you know. I always had it in my family. And then I actually went to jail when I was 17. Went to jail.
In Sweden?
Yeah. I went to jail for like a year and a couple of months.
Damn, and a whole year?
Yeah. And then I went to like
That's some time. What you did?
I mean, there's private stuff, but yeah. Yeah, there's stuff that happened, yeah. But anyway, I went to this place like a treatment center for kids after that because they didn't want to let me on this.
So how old were you, though, when you did this year?
I was 17
to 18. So it was juvenile.
And yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I don't know what juvenile is, but yeah, it was a real, like...
It was a real jail over there.
Not with old people, but up to like 23, I think.
Okay.
So anyway,
yeah, so it was...
I don't know what it's called, yo, but anyway.
Detention center.
Yeah, I don't know what it's called, but anyway, after that, they sent me to like a treatment center for kids, like a younger kids up to like 21, because they didn't want me on the street right away. They wanted me to like, I don't know, like develop.
I got to slow you down though, because you still didn't want to become a fighter until 19, so you must have been fighting in this
Yeah, I've been
situation.
fighting my whole life since I was a little kid, bro.
Okay, so being in the system, did you have to fist fight?
Yeah, it happened.
Okay.
Yes, it happened.
Did that, I don't know, open the appetite for fighting?
No, I always like to fight. Like, honestly, I always like to fight on the streets and stuff, you know? You know, and I always had that, like, it's funny because, like, my friends always told me when I started boxing, they're like, yo, you're gonna knock people out. I'm like, why? Because I always knock people out on the street. Always. Like, people were sleeping, like you know, sleeping. And I also, like, this is just a little story I want to say, that we used to throw, like, rocks, like, on top of the project building, and it's like a pretty high building, right? And I was the only one in my age up to like 20 that could throw these rocks over the building. So people knew that even I knew it now today that I am very explosive, you know? That's where I get my power from. It's just, that's from those rocks.
Damn, building up the strength. How big was them rocks, man?
Nah, I'm joking with you. But that's when I knew it. Like, I'm super explosive, you know? And yeah.
So you made it to America. How'd you link up with Ibn, and why'd you choose him to be your trainer?
Bro. God put us together for sure, bro.
How? I want that story. I'm religious.
Yeah, you want? Okay, listen to this. So I came here as an amateur. Oh no, I came here as a pro. I came here as a pro, like the third time, the fourth time, whatever. And I actually sparred his brother.
Okay.
So I sparred his younger brother, and so I knew Ibn. I knew who he was. I knew of him. I didn't know him as a person like that, you know. And then I was in that process to get my visa and all that. So we already knew about each other. And then one day, I went to Starbucks, like a regular day. I went to Starbucks. And of course, Ibn was there because he's the Starbucks main man. You know, he should be sponsored by Starbucks for sure. But anyway.
What did you get?
Yeah, what did you get from Starbucks?
I was about to get a regular coffee, like a Americano something, a hot one. But he put me on the Venti Ice Americano, bro. Yeah, he put me with cream. You know? Nowadays it's oatmeal. Nowadays it's oatmeal because we on the diet right now. But other than that, it's cream. But yeah, so I went there and I met Ibn there and I told him about that I needed like, he said, what's up, Chan? What you doing? Like, what's going on? What are you doing there? And I told him, I said, I'm about to, I'm trying to get my visa. Are you going to move out here? I said, yeah. And then he said, I might be able to help you because I needed some help to get my visa. Anyway,
a sponsor, right?
Whatever case is, I just need some help, right? And he said he could help me, right?
This guy's very private, huh? I'm going to keep prying. Don't you worry. Micah, bring the crowbar. We get in there.
Nah, so anyway, so I talked to him and he said, I might be able to help you. And I'm like, okay, like, why would this guy want to help me, right? Because I'm like, what is he like? What is he winning on about? Like,
what does he want?
Yeah,
what
exactly.
does he want?
What does he want to help me, right? So he said, yeah, you can meet me tomorrow, whatever, in the evening or whatever. I said, okay, let's meet at Whole Foods. I told him, I said, okay, I'll meet you at Whole Foods. And I went to Whole Foods the next day.
So y'all went to Starbucks to meet.
Nah, I didn't. I just met him about like coincidence.
Oh, by coincidence.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying is God.
They had a casual meeting at a food place, and then they had a meeting in another food place.
Yeah, so we met at Starbucks by a coincidence.
By chance meeting at Starbucks.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that's why I think it's God. You know. But anyway, I told him let's meet up at Whole Foods to discuss this thing he's gonna help me with.
Okay.
And the day after, I actually got the help that I wanted from somebody else. But I felt like it was just an hour until I was supposed to meet Ibn, right? So I'm like, yeah, I still want to like
see what he was talking about.
No, I still want to like maybe I don't know, bro. But when somebody's trying to help me, I want to give something back, you know. So I'm like, yo, maybe I can, give him a coffee deal or like some food or whatever, you know, just like to appreciate that he tried to help me. So I met him up there, and I'm like, I already fixed it, and he was like, what am I doing here then? I'm like, nah, I just wanted to give you like, I don't know, maybe we can eat or something, you know, like. He said, nah, I don't want to eat. We can just like drink water or whatever. I'm like, okay. So we started talking about boxing. And when we started talking about boxing, that's when I realized, hey, yo, this man is on another level when it comes to boxing IQ. And, I actually looked for a trainer, and I was like, can I try out to train with you? And he said, yeah, there's only 2 or 3 things I want you to do. I never want you to quit. I don't want you to ask me any, like, I don't want you to argue with me about like what I'm telling you to do. And I think that was about it. And the third, like, look at me as an older brother when you talk, like when you're in the gym. And yeah, after that, I've been attached to him, not only as a coach, but as a close friend and as a big brother and as a mentor.
So how were you guys together from the beginning? Like your first fight?
No, my 7th fight.
Oh, 7th.
I came in 7-0.
Okay.
Yeah. So we got 8 fights together, and all of them are stoppage except one. Nice. So yeah.
So when did you decide to go up in weight? Was that
my last fight?
Okay.
My last fight. And
what was the change? Why light heavyweight? Because that's a big jump from light heavyweight to cruiserweight. Obviously,
I'm a big guy, bro. I'm very big bone. I'm a big guy. I'm 6'3", But the thing is this. The light heavyweight thing was a dream, it was a dream to become a world champion and do my thing there. And
then move up.
Of course, I always wanted to move up. And I always thought it's going to be easier to be a cruiserweight because I can eat, I can do whatever I want to do, I don't really need to stress about the weight cut, But then, since I moved there 4 years ago, I've been in like diets since 4 years ago. I've been cutting weight almost 4 years. Or let's say 3 years and something right now because I moved up. But I've been cutting weight every fucking day, bro. Because it's like, you're going to have a fight, I'm not having a fight. You're going to have a fight, how the boxing industry works. So it's like, I've been cutting weight all the time. And, I never got a fight. And, and then when I did get a fight, like, I didn't perform as I do in the gym. And Ibn told me that too. He's been trying to tell me, like, for a long time, bro, you should just move up to cruiserweight. You should just move up to cruiserweight. And I was the one arguing with him, like, no, bro, this is my dream. This is my dream. Don't take my dream away from me. So, I actually put him like, on the spot, because if I'm telling him don't take my dream away from me, that's him like, all right, I can't say nothing about that. But he was right.
And I'm going through your box record. It looks like the closest you've ever come to
178. 178, yeah. And I'm not gonna lie, that was the last fight. That was the last fight. I looked like shit. Yeah, I look like shit.
Nah, I hear you, man. So, Ibn, talk to us, man. What did you see in this guy that made you want to invest your time?
I mean, when I look at a boxer, I'm looking at the inside, like who they are as a person, right? Just from a perspective of talent wise, I remember I was training my little brother, and we went and we sparred him, and I was looking at him, and I saw a bunch of different problems he had as far as technique wise, but I saw the natural ability he had, and I remember thinking to myself, as I was training my brother, because I had my brother from day one, and I remember how hard it was to try to to get him to learn this talent. And I felt like my brother had a bunch of different gifts, but I remember thinking to myself, man, why can't I ever get somebody that's already has this like natural ability like him, like Rob? I was thinking that to myself, right? And I said, but God has it. I got to do what I got to do. It's no problem, But I was just wondering. And then when he came to me and we met at the Starbucks, I was like, okay, again, it wasn't about training or anything. I had just stopped working with my brother. And I believe that God doesn't take anything from you without giving you equal or better in return. That's just my belief. And in my life, that's how it's always happened. So when I lose something, I actually get happy because I know I'm either going to find that thing back or I'm getting something better. 100%. That's how I believe. So at that point in time, me and my brother, we had went through a situation where we decided that we weren't going to work with each other, and I felt like I lost something because I was like, dang, I put 4 years into working with my little brother, and I love him, and but I just lost all that time, Even though I was still happy that I showed my brother craft in a way that would make money, I still felt like I lost something. So I got happy, and then all of a sudden, I go into the Starbucks, I just by chance meet Rob. Just trying to help him out, and we get to talking, and then all of a sudden he asked me to train, and that came out of nowhere. But then I knew, I said, this must be what my or better is going to be. Equal or better. I'm not going to try to say nothing about my brother or anything like that, but that's why I felt like, okay, shoot, I was just now a year ago, or however long ago we sparred, was thinking to myself, why can't I ever get somebody like this is already like got this God gifted talent, and then all of a sudden it comes to me. That I have this opportunity. Now, I also, again, I like to look at who the person is because I just don't want to train anybody. When I train you, you're around my family. I'm investing my time into you, and it's not about the money for me. It's the time you cannot get back. That's time I spend for my kids. We in camp for 6 weeks, 2 months, or whatever case. I'm never going to be able to get that. My kids may say, "Hey, Dad wasn't there when I was growing up," and I got to, it's got to be justified.
It's got to be worth it.
Yeah, it's got to be worth it. So if I'm gonna be around somebody, they got to have a good core to me. So some kind of inside values that I like and that I.
So which are those values that he has?
That I like. I mean, he just has a good energy. Like his presence is good. He's just an overall good person. I mean, I don't want to say whether he's so super honest or whatever. You can make mistakes. You can lie and all that kind of stuff. Did you eat pizza? Coach, no, I ain't eat no pizza. Okay, that's a lie. But then the next day, Coach, I feel bad. Why? I lied to you yesterday. What you ate the pizza, didn't you? Yeah, Coach, I feel bad. Like I like that guilt, that quality right there that makes him want to feel bad. Like I like those types of things. And I mean, he's just a good person. So you don't have to be good to me for me to train you. I just gotta feel your energy and have a good presence for me to be around you because I'm gonna be around you for a long time.
Now, what exactly was that natural talent? Because you're watching him spar your brother. Okay. What did you see him do? Because when you use the phrase natural talent, I'm thinking Roy Jones, how he can lead with a left hook, or Canelo, how he has that lateral movement. That's not Mexican like. So it's like that's some natural talent. That's a natural ability. What's Rob Safar's natural ability?
First of all, I believe that this guy is the hardest puncher out there for the cruiserweight division. But he
just became a cruiserweight fighter ago. So you've obviously felt he was a puncher.
100%. Like his explosiveness is ridiculous. Like it's like you just can't explain it. Like you could talk to some people when you got like you can ask Lonnie
B.
Yeah, Lonnie B. He'll tell you, bro. Like he has a different type of punch. It's just like unbelievable. It's like I would say it's like a mixture between a Gennady Golovkin and also a Benavidez. Like it's speed with pop with thud at the exact same time.
I mean, you say Benavidez, I'm thinking combinations. You know that man is like a bunch of punches come at you. So you letting him go like that?
No. He's not. He has his own thing. I'm just saying, just trying to give you a description of how to describe his power. That's one of the natural abilities that I saw. Also, he has this. Some people like when they do business, like they always win for some reason. They always find a way to be successful at what it. He always finds a way to come out on top. There, whether you call it luck or whatever you want to call it. He has that ability to just find a way, And when he was sparring my brother, I was able to. He was much more advanced than my brother at the time, but because I was able to pick out things that he was doing wrong, I knew what he was doing wrong, and we was able to exploit certain things. But I still saw that now. He still, even though my brother was punching him, and to me, my brother busted him up that day. That's just to me.
That's not true.
We all.
That's not true.
Damn, hold on.
You know what I mean? I mean, to me, my brother got the better. He got the better that day because I was coaching him, and I was
Rob,
just
you just said that's not true, but you're not saying nothing
You
else.
can say whatever you want to say.
Okay.
Right. I let him slide.
I wanted to hear you defend yourself.
I mean, to me, I thought my brother got the better, but not because it was because I was able to exploit the deficiencies in his boxing IQ at the time. That's why. Because then he sparred my brother the next maybe 2 days later, and I wasn't there. And because I knew he was so dangerous, I talked to his coach, who's a good friend of mine now, Sargon. I said, hey, they said they needed work. I said, wait a minute, Sargon, I can't do that. I'm not going to be there. He said, no, don't worry, we'll work easy. I said, okay, if y'all going to work easy, because I knew how good this guy was. And I knew my brother wasn't going to be able to pick out those things that were weak. And sure enough, I guess, that next day he sparred my brother without me there, and he broke my brother's nose, because now my brother was
broken or busted leaking.
What was it?
Because broken.
I don't know.
I don't know. It wasn't broken. It was busted. They had to stop the sparring because it was leaking. Yeah, because it was. But either way, he got the better, and I was a little pissed off because I was like, "Yo, I thought y'all was going to, chill. That's not right. I was a little mad at him at that point. But, those are the things that I saw in him. I know he has that quality, man. He's a dog.
So obviously the injury not something you guys wanted, did slow the momentum up a bit, but what are you guys thinking as far as time frame, to get back in the ring, or are you just gonna take things a day at a time?
No, I mean we haven't fought for 10 months.
Man, we're not worried, but this injury is nothing.
It's nothing,
man.
yo. This is a blessing, bro.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have better footwork. I'm gonna have the best jab in the business.
It's some things that I wanted Rob to work on anyway, right? I told him he had to work on. I wanted to get his run game really good. Like that's something that I
be like David Goggin.
Yeah, we're going to be running. We're going to get the lower body really, really in shape, and because he doesn't like to run, he doesn't. He's just. He a lot of times he relies off his explosiveness, but a lot of the explosive fighters they get tired really quick. They can generate a lot of power, and but then they gas. It's like they rev it up and then they just got to gas. So I want to take this time. I think it's a blessing. Maybe God wanted us to slow down so that way he could take this time, get his lower body right. We're going to really get that run game really good, and then hopefully he'll have explosivity and some longevity with his explosivity when we return.
So you was totally bullshitting when you said trying to get on that David Goggins.
What do you mean?
What you mean?
Well, I mean, you said you hate running. He runs like 40, 50 miles.
That's what I'm saying. That's why we're
gonna
gonna get that. That's why we're gonna get that run game up, bro. I'm gonna be like David Goggin. I'm not like David Goggin.
Yeah. We're gonna be running a lot.
No, I was just gonna ask because, like, how can you? That's what I was asking. How would that apply to boxing, running for hours and hours?
No, that's just
okay.
We just saying we're gonna get our run game on. That's it.
He's a boxing fan though.
Who, David Goggin?
Yeah, I've met him at a fight.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I've met him.
I didn't know that.
Fight. Yeah,
he's pretty tough mentally, bro.
I got a couple questions here from the people. James Valdez in San Antonio, Texas says, Usyk versus Fury, who becomes the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world?
Who? Talking about me?
Yeah.
Fury.
Why Fury?
Biggest size, like maybe probably the same boxing IQ, maybe a little bit better, but like I don't believe size make a difference. But in this case, if you're on the same level skill wise, size make a difference.
Coach.
I was a big Usyk fan, but he let me down last fight. A lot of stuff I didn't like about that last fight. Even though I picked him to win, I didn't like what I saw last fight. So before I would have said Usyk, but now I'm 100% Fury.
100%.
Yeah, easy Fury.
So what was it that you saw before?
Well, I mean, I think he fought the wrong fight. This fight, I think he should have pushed it a little bit more. I think he waited around too much. He let Joshua, kind of stay in his comfort zone a little bit too long. I didn't like how he approached that fight. And I think that Tyson Fury, he's got just too many weapons for him at this point, and I don't think he's going to. You're not going to outbox Tyson Fury. You're not, in the way he ran. I'm just judging him from his last fight. The way he ran around with Joshua, you can't do that with Tyson Fury. He's just going to outpoint you. I mean, Usyk could probably survive because he'll go into survival mode, but he won't win the fight based on points. It'll be easy for Tyson, and he has nothing to keep Tyson off of him. He don't have the crack to so he's got to outbox him. You're not outboxing Tyson. Yeah, so it's an easy fight for him.
Rob, what happened in the Grachev fight? I know that guy. He fought Edwin Rodriguez.
What happened?
I mean, I'm just saying.
But they didn't knock him out?
Exactly. Your coach saying you got this right hand from the heavens, man.
I mean,
why
then
you
also
sleep
gotta
him?
remember that that's maybe why I moved up.
That's the weight issue.
I mean, bro, I'm not gonna lie, I cut a lot of weight. I walk around right now 215 almost. And I went down to 178. You guys know how much weight cut takes on people.
Not just that, but to give it to Grachev, all them fights, he's only been stopped 3 times.
But I would have stopped him if he would have fought
Thomas
like
Ostuzian stopped him, you know what I'm saying? Like
Who?
the tall South African. I
don't
watched that fight. It was on HBO and a few other people. But no, I'm just, I'm teasing since you're
it's all good, bro.
over here talking about you got
That's fine.
the hammer of Thor in your right hand.
That is correct. That is correct. I stand behind
but
that.
that's why we moved up, bro. Basically, because my body didn't want to perform at light heavyweight. I lost a lot of, even in the amateurs, bro. In the amateurs, like 81 kilograms is considered light heavyweight, and 91 kilograms is like heavyweight, not super heavyweight. And every time I fought heavyweight, I knocked people out. But when I went down to light heavyweight, I was cutting like probably 14 pounds every day. If I had a 4-day tournament, I cut 14 pounds every day. Yeah.
Doesn't sound fun.
Can I just speak on that just a little bit? I think that when you have explosive fighters like Rob, and this is just for everybody who's in the boxing game, I think maybe, and I don't have no scientific facts to prove it, but I think maybe when you have to generate that much power that quickly, the more you deplete your body, the worse you are. You can't come back, as opposed to somebody like Cody, who is not as explosive. But
Yo, you seen what he did, Rob? He came in, he said, we're not going to talk about Cody.
Well,
he
I'm just
brought him
saying-
up.
Well, I'm
He's
just-
your favorite. Tell the truth.
both my fighters are my favorite. But I'm just saying, when he's not as explosive. He's more got a longer endurance type of body, right?
Danny, I ain't catch on. Cody must got the key fight, and he thought we knew or something. He I ain't talking about Cody. What he got going on?
Like I was saying about Rob.
He fighting Ennis?
Look, but like I was saying about Rob, when he went down, we noticed that every single time.
I hope it's Keith.
Ennis,
I hope
because
it's Keith.
I just met
We
Cody.
talking
I don't
about
want
Rob.
I'm
Ennis.
digging right now, yo.
we talking about
I
Rob.
hope,
digging right
I hope
now.
it ain't Gerard Ennis, because I just met Cody, man. I don't want to, you know what I'm saying?
We talking about Rob again, like I was saying, that we noticed that every single time he went down in weight, if you look at his box rec, we kept going down further and further and further and further to his last fight. he looked just disgusting in that fight. Yeah, he won the fight, bro. But I was like, it was like he lost the fight to us. We were so unhappy with that fight, and that's why I was like, man, every time you go down, you get weaker. You even in the locker room for that fight, he was trying to punch, and I'm like, yo, bro, why you punching so hard? He's like, I'm just trying to get, But he told me later on that he was like tired and he couldn't get his energy. So we went into that fight tired. So that's when we had the discussion, bro. You got to go up and weight, man. You can't 3 more pounds for you might be death. When he was at 170, trying to make 175. You never know what pound is going to, bring somebody over the edge. So now, we spar heavyweights now. We spar anybody. It doesn't matter. He sparred Jared Anderson, who's one of the best. We spar.
How many
How
rounds?
did that go?
What we did? What you mean? It went well.
How many rounds?
How many rounds we went with him? 6? Yeah. 6 rounds.
6?
Yeah. With the best heavyweight out there. Would you say Jared Anderson is a top prospect?
Oh, absolutely.
All right, well, we sparred
without
with him.
a doubt.
But that's because we're at, he's healthy.
Yo,
he's not.
text him. Ask him how it went. Yeah, ask him how it went. 6? That's a lot. No, I ain't gonna front. I think that dude is super impressive.
He is.
I've never seen a heavyweight train with ankle weights. Only Tyson Fury, and I think I only seen Fury do that once or twice. I'm telling you, that dude is different. He did 200. What was it? 100 or 200?
It was like 125.
125 double jumps while talking.
Mm-hmm. That's why he's going to be a champion.
No, he's. So how was that, Rob? Because they say he the goods. I mean, you see what Tyson Fury said. Once Fury got in, he do. That's the next world champion.
I mean, he can definitely crack.
He the goods, but we the goods too.
Well, that's why I want to know how that session went.
Yeah, he can definitely crack.
It was a good session.
I didn't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that, Rob. Rob talking about he could crack. That means you got punched. I don't want to hear that shit.
Of course I got punched, but he got punched too. So it's not like,
that's what I want to hear.
How about this? The whole time he was sparring, I was worried about that punch that might knock him out. I was worried.
I was worried that Jared might knock him out.
Of course. He's a heavyweight, one of the best out there. So I was worried because I know if Jared caught him clean,
this was when I walked around like 193,
yeah, he was
194.
small.
How was your agility, or how was it dealing with his agility, or did that not show up? Because
Then second of all, we got another thing, but that's not an excuse or anything. But I had fever that day, so when I came in the gym, I thought I'm gonna spar somebody else, somebody not that good. So I'm like, okay, I got fever, it's fine. I can go inside the gym because I'm gonna spar this guy. But then we came in the gym, he wasn't even there, and then Jared came in, and they were like, you want to spar him? And I'm just like, okay, yeah, I spar him,
At the Top Rank gym?
No, this is Bones Adams.
I'm like, yeah, I spar him. So, yeah.
It got heated. It definitely got heated.
I'm sure at Bones, because people start talking at Bones. Was people saying things from the outside?
No, there wasn't a lot of people there.
We were talking between each other.
Okay.
Because there wasn't a lot of people there.
Okay.
There wasn't a lot of people there.
But again, look, I will say Robin is the goods, Jared is the goods. Nobody's saying that, Robin can beat Jared. He's a heavyweight. Nobody's saying that. But, the IQ is what pays the bills. You understand? So we had to come up with a plan to be able to be in there and survive and also try to get the better, and not get injured. And that's what boxing is about. That's what we train. That's how we train.
So I want to ask both of you your thoughts on, because it could potentially one day down the line be there. For you, your thoughts on the Bridgerweight division?
I don't know, bro. I mean, right now my main focus is to be a world champion in Cruiserweight, bro. I don't look at stuff,
I looked at it.
This question you might not like, obviously, especially being as though your trainer told us, Badu Jack from back in Sweden. But, boxing is always looking to have the torch passed. And, he's one of the most famous Sweden fighters, and he moved up to Cruiserweight. It ain't your fault. He's in your division now. Is that a fight that you would want to kind of get that torch passed from someone that's been fighting here in America and established for a while?
Bro, I don't like talking like that because he's from Sweden, I know the guy, and he invited me to his house and everything, But, I mean, nothing is going to stand in my way for being a world champion.
For sure.
I can just say that. And if somebody wants to stay in my way, then I'm going to run over you, bro.
So, Coach, is it hard getting him fights or pitching him to networks and promoters, being as though he used to be a light heavyweight? Now you're trying to sell him as a cruiserweight?
No, I don't think we haven't. Right, this is his first fight at Cruiserweight, right? So we really haven't. And then now we on the bench again, right? So I don't really know how hard it's going to be. I just think boxing is about maybe you might put a word in somebody, and then all of a sudden you on. It could just be this that simple, or it doesn't. We just keep improving our craft while we wait. When it's your time, it's your time. So
for sure. Speaking of weight, and we still got a few more minutes before we get our next guest. So I know that obviously your nephew's fight fell apart, but he just got another fight, big fight, dangerous, more dangerous. I think.
Who's that? I don't even know.
Oh, he's not your nephew, cousin? Is it cousin?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
You know when I
don't know what you talking about, bro.
It's like 32.
Yo, we talking about Rob.
There's
right
32
here,
cameras in here. They caught you smirk the minute I said your nephew, man.
What are you talking
We
about,
definitely
bro?
need to put just a little bit of more soundproofing in here, though. But listen, your nephew Rockman didn't get the Jake Paul fight. Now he got the Victor Belfort fight. He just knocked out Evander Holyfield. Are you nervous? You see?
I don't know who you talking about, bro. Who are you talking about?
Bro, the interview is damn near over.
Yeah, let's end it with Rob. What's Rob? Robin, what is your next thing you want to do?
This guy terrible.
Well, Rob, can I get your prediction on the Hasim Rahman Jr. and Vitor Belfort
That's
fight?
right. You know him.
I mean,
He
I
acting
don't
like he don't
know.
know him.
I'm not gonna lie. I haven't seen Hasim fought. I haven't seen the other guy fought, so I can't tell you that.
You sparred Hassan.
No, I never sparred Hasim.
What? You ain't you let him spar your brother, not your nephew?
I don't know what you talking about again. What are you talking about, man?
Oh, this guy's going off the.
Yo.
There's people outside.
Man,
watching.
we gonna come back.
Give me an intermission, man. We're going to take a picture with these guys, man. Give out your social media, Rob, for anybody out there who hasn't been following. You can follow you. Where could they do
Rob
that?
Safar, ROBZ, Safar, SAFAR.
And Coach Ibn, where can they catch you at?
Ibn Cason.
All right. We'll be back. What's up, YouTube family? Don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Help us get to that 1 million subscribers. We're on the road to 1 million. And obviously, we have other great content on our Patreon channel. So since this video is over, head on over to our Patreon and check out all the exclusive content or right here on our YouTube members.